There have been numerous studies indicating that this is very common and a result of wrongfully developed perceptions. For example, it is well established that overweight children suffer higher levels of bullying than others. Such individuals may view their body mass or inability to stand up for themselves as the reason they were picked on. If we do not accept our individuality and stop self-blaming, it can be very hard to heal the wounds. Being bullied as a child in school, which is such a huge part of an individual's world, is clearly a traumatic experience. It should come as no surprise that it may leave lasting scars. Luckily, there is plenty of help out there, and even if we don't want to embark on getting therapy, just identifying negative thinking patterns and behavior that the bullying may have triggered can ultimately help you change them and move forward. Let's talk about how to heal. Acknowledge bullying in your past. Victims of bullying often spend years minimizing the bullying, dismissing it, or pretending it didn't even happen. Or they succumb to feelings of guilt, shame, or self-blame, believing if they had been different or tried harder, the bullying would not have happened. The only way to begin the healing process is to recognize that the bullying occurred and that you are not responsible for it. Prioritize your health and recovery. Victims of bullying often deal with a host of health issues, including anxiety issues, eating disorders, headaches, insomnia, and even PTSD or other stress conditions. Be sure to talk to your doctor about any symptoms you are experiencing. Remember, bullying affects more than just your mood and self-esteem. It can also have a serious impact on your health. Take the steps to take care of yourself. Reclaim control in adulthood. Feelings of powerlessness and helplessness can carry over into adulthood. As a result, you may run the risk of living your life as a perpetual victim. Realize that while you cannot control what happened, you can control your reaction. Start your recovery by taking control of your thoughts, emotions, and actions. It is also important to own your reactions and realize that you can choose to make healthy choices. You have a choice on how to live your life. Recognize your value and worth. Bullying often causes people to lose confidence and self-esteem because it is packed with lies about your worth as a person. Reject the lies that the bully said about you and replace them with the truth about who you are. Focus on learning how to be you again. To get started, write down your positive characteristics. This can be as, what are you good at? What are your strengths? What do people like about you? What do you do that you like about yourself? Focus on the positive things you have going on for you and reject the lies that the bullies fed you. Avoid isolating yourself. A big part of recovery from bullying is maintaining contact with supportive friends and family. Many times, victims of bullying isolate themselves and try to deal with the consequences of bullying on their own. If the bullying you experienced as a child keeps coming back and rearing its ugly head, consider talking with a counselor about your past. It also helps to talk with friends and family or find a support group in your area. The key is that you don't have to go throughout the healing process alone. It's great to have support along the way. Seek trauma support. Sometimes healing from a childhood trauma, like bullying, requires outside help and support. Talk to your family doctor and get recommendations for a counselor that specializes in healing from childhood traumas. A counselor will help you process and make sense of what happened to you. They will be able to point out any unhealthy coping mechanisms you are using or anything else that may be a way to handle the bullying that you experienced. Focus on personal growth. Identify areas where you need to grow or heal. For instance, do you need to build your self-esteem or become more assertive? Likewise, you may also benefit from learning to set boundaries, taking a self-defense class, or by joining a health club. Make a list of the areas that you want to improve or change in your life. It is best to make this list on your own rather than asking for someone else's opinion. This way, you will own those changes that you need to make in your life. But if you're having trouble identifying your weaknesses, ask a close friend or family member and see what they have to say. Change your thought processes. Many times, people who are healing from childhood bullying ruminate about what they experienced or become obsessed with not experiencing that pain again. Learn ways to take your thoughts captive. Set goals and focus on things that make you happy or bring joy to your life. Avoid focusing all your time and energy on past pain and your current recovery. It's really not healthy to think about the pain and what you endured all the time. Set aside some specific times to deal with the issues, but don't allow them to consume you. All in all, guys, be patient with recovery. Childhood bullying can stay with you forever, and it's really not a quick process just to get rid of it like that. It's really important to take the time to really process what's happened so that you can grow as a person. And let me tell you, it's not easy. We've all been there. But know that you're not alone. That's it for today, guys. Make sure to like and subscribe. See you next week.
You was in high school.
Gastrointestinal
Issues, e.g., irritable bowel syndrome, blood pressure. When a person is repeatedly bullied, it harassed, or experiences negative reinforcement, symptomatic abuse, or power, ongoing immediation, or emotional pain in those who are bullied. Children tend to have greater risk of being bullied in their adult lives. Characteristic symptoms: because bullying feels powerless, anger, fear, strongly connected, and with the bullied to develop disorders. PTSD, anxiety, category 3, including persistently re-experiencing the event, and intensified desire of stimulus associated with traumatic events, persistent feeling of arousal, persistent experiencing the event means having nightmares or flashbacks associated with the event, memories, mind at an inconvenient time, and unwanted, or a person seeing someone whose stomach is clenching. Those stimulus associated with bullying trauma are from distance themselves from peer coworkers, and they may try to avoid social situations where they be targeted, victimized, some fashion of staying away certain places of events when they experiencing or perceived danger. What matters is they experience reactivity and hyperglycemia, refer to the psychological effects of associated trauma reenactments. Persistently experiencing events means having nightmares or flashbacks associated with bullying memories, person's mind at inconvenient time, or distressing or unwanted, or a person says someone who reminds them of the old perturbator. They may feel a chest tightening, stomach clenching. Those who avoid stimulus associated with bullying trauma, perceived danger. What matters, they experience a general sense of threatened or unsafe. Finally, persistent of
efficacy.
Those methods who largely depend on severity, symptoms, and the person's capacity and to use positive coping skills. It is always recommended that people seek out trauma-informed personal substance mental health administrator SAMHSA reports. Trauma initials: safety, trustworthy, and transparency, peer support, collaboration and mutuality, empowerment, voices and change. Trauma approaches implemented any type of